Today's episode is a little different. I wanted to take you behind the scenes of Art for the Heart, what it is, why it exists, how it's grown over the years, and the thinking behind its newest chapter. And I couldn't think of anyone better to have this conversation with than the lovely Beck, who has seen the membership from both sides, first as a member and now as someone who supports our community from the inside. So Beck is an artist herself, and over the last few years, she's become a beautiful part of Art for the Heart, supporting members in the Facebook group, helping hold the energy in the community, and also running many of our co-creating sessions. So today we're going to chat about the journey of the membership, what artists really need when they're trying to stay connected to their art, and why Art for the Heart has evolved into the space it is today. This is episode 119 of the Paint, Rest, Repeat podcast, and you can find all the relevant links and the show notes over at permissiontopaint.co/what-artists-need.
Welcome to Paint, Rest, Repeat, the podcast for artists who are ready to ditch the overwhelm, follow their passion, and build a thriving art life on their own terms. I'm Roz, an Aussie artist, mum of two, and creative business coach who knows exactly how wild, wonderful, and wobbly the artist journey can be, because I've lived it. I left behind a safe teaching career to follow my heart into art, and now my work hangs in galleries and major art fairs across Australia. After years of coaching, I'm passionate about helping you ditch the starving artist myth, stick it to the naysayers, and design a creative life that truly lights you up. So if you're ready for real talk, practical tips, and heartfelt encouragement, you found your podcast. Hit follow and let's dive in.
So Beck, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I'm so excited to have you here today. Beck, you are an artist yourself and you go by Short and Sweet Art on the interwebs and at your markets as well. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about your art and where you're based?
I'm in Canberra. I started art about 10 years ago, actually probably a bit longer than that now. But when I met my husband and he came with a bunch of children and I went from 0 kids to lots of kids and I just needed something for me. So I found my art that way and it was so helpful. It's so important to my well-being that I joined Roz's membership when I needed some extra accountability and it just came at the right time. So I was having a lot of time off from work to deal with stuff at home, and I knew that if I didn't have someone to help me stay accountable, that I would just be inside doing all the boring mum stuff that you have to do that isn't as fun as art and is not as good for my well-being. So yeah, the membership came around at the right time. So my art it's developed over time. It's just slowly evolved into bits and pieces. I like to jump around from thing to thing. So at the moment, if you're on YouTube, you can see behind me, it's my little fellow in his little white raincoat and he goes on adventures. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Your art is just so beautiful and your little character that pops up. He's always painting rainbow elements somewhere in pretty much all of your artworks, and I just love that.
The collection's called Paint Your Joy, so he goes out to places where I find joy and just paints.
Now, do you want to share with everyone where they can connect with you just before we dive into the topic today?
My business name is Short and Sweet Art, so my Instagram is at Short and Sweet Art, and my website is shortandsweetart.com.au.
All right, fabulous. Now, we are going to talk about the membership a little bit today as well, because you're a member inside Art for the Heart, but you're also part of the support crew for our beautiful community in there.
Yeah, it's the best. I think I've been a member for nearly 4 years now. So yeah. It's been amazing. Yeah.
That means you've seen it evolve, right? Because it has changed quite a bit since you first started.
Definitely. Like when I first started, I think you ran a challenge just about getting in and making the art, which is what I needed at the time. Like I just needed that little push to get the motivation to, come out to my little studio and start painting, because you don't evolve your art and get better if you don't do it. So that was fantastic. And I just loved the amount of support that I got through that challenge. And then I joined the membership, which definitely came at the right time. And it helped me. And then as the membership went on, you started doing more of the business support, which is great because I needed that to start my little business to support my art habits. So it's been fantastic.
That's quite common, isn't it? Like, you love the art and that's one thing. And then you're like, okay, this is getting expensive. I need to sell something, basically.
Yes. Yes. It helps. Like you have to, sell your paintings so you can buy more art supplies to make more paintings. Yeah.
So Beck, what do you remember feeling when you first came into Art for the Heart? Like, how did you feel in the community?
It was great. I felt welcomed and supported. And it's hard, like out in the real world, to find other art people because you're in, painting is generally a by yourself activity. You're not doing it with other people. You're not always going out to do it. So it was just nice to find similar people that were, in the same stage as me and into the same things. And it's really hard to find someone out in the real world who can sit and just talk to you about art supplies or where you're at with your painting. Nobody else wants to listen. I felt welcomed and I felt, felt safe and that I could talk to everybody.
And you're 4 years in and you're still part of the community.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's brilliant. I've met so many cool people. Yeah.
I'm just going to pop in here quickly because I have created a bunch of free resources to help you grow as an artist. From getting started with selling to boosting your confidence to finding joy in your creative practice. You can grab them all for free at permissiontopaint.co/resources or just click the link in the show notes. Go and explore. I know you'll find something really helpful. All right, back to the episode. Through your time in Art for the Heart, how has your relationship with your art changed? Like, has it changed over the 4 years, do you think?
Definitely. I think I went from mainly doing online tutorials and just learning to actually being able to produce my own paintings and make a collection and get to a stage where I was comfortable selling my own original art or art prints or, I have a product range. I've got greeting cards and things. So I couldn't have even imagined that 5 years ago. Like I just, without the membership, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I am.
And you're
Yeah.
doing things like markets now, you've got your website. Are you still selling your work through Redbubble? Is that still current right this second?
Yeah, yeah, I've got art on Redbubble. I think I've got some on Spoonflower. I sell art in a local shop. I'm about to put some greeting cards and things in another local shop, and I teach some local paint and sips as well, which is amazing. Like I've gone from learning to teaching, which is fantastic. I love it so much.
These are all quite amazing achievements to think that, you didn't imagine any of this 4 years ago. You came from that love of art and, learning and dabbling and playing to now making money through all these different things in your art business. Like, it's pretty impressive, I think.
Well, yeah, when I sit down and talk about it all at once, yeah, it's pretty, it's a lot.
I see these conversations are so important because they make us aware of what we've actually achieved. You obviously at some point sort of decided that you'd be interested in supporting people inside the membership. What was it that sort of pushed you over the edge? I actually can't remember. Did I ask you or did you ask me? What happened there?
I think you asked me to help. Oh, you needed help with one of your challenges because the challenges you ran were huge. There were so many people, and we needed some extra support in the Facebook groups, and it evolved from there. I started running some of the co-creating sessions inside, and I love running them so much. I think it's because they gave me so much. It was once a week back then. We do twice a week now, but yeah, I would never miss them. It was like my time to come out to my art studio and make my art, and I knew that that would happen once a week, no matter what was going on. So yeah, that I just loved it so much, and I'm like, I don't want this to end. I'm going to do whatever I can to help us keep doing this.
You are such a treasured part of not just the membership, but my world, Beck. So thank you for just being everything you are. Like you're just amazing. And I'm tearing up, but like whole heart, like you're just so warm and authentic and genuine. And I find in this world, sometimes that's quite refreshing. So, thanks, Beck. Yeah. I am casting my mind back to when you supported with that first challenge and you just did such a good job of it. I was like, oh yeah, she needs to do more inside Art for the Heart. So I'm really glad that I asked you and that you said yes.
I love it. And I'm so, I don't know, passionate about giving people a place and holding space for them and, letting people feel part of a community or being part of a community. And I think there's not enough of that. We need more.
Yeah, and I think people need more than just information, like learning content. They need that community. It's a really big piece of it. I'm trying to remember back to when Art for the Heart first started. It was running monthly art workshops on Zoom, and that turned into a membership, which then I added on a Facebook group so people could share their artworks. And that was the very start of it, way back when. Must have been 5 years ago now, Beck. If you've been in there for 4 years, must have been 5 years ago.
Yeah. It's
Mm.
great seeing how all these things evolve. And people need to know that. Like, you don't just have an idea and make it happen. You have an idea and it evolves and then eventually turns into, something fantastic.
Just like an artwork, Beck.
I know. Yeah.
I love that. Just like an artwork.
Hey, why did you start it?
I made art myself, obviously. And then I also have a teaching background. My previous job was a primary teacher. So I have the teaching skills and practice. And so it was just that combination. It was also started, the first ones, you're actually turning my brain on because I can almost not remember. It was so long ago. I think it was also during COVID. So that was the whole online thing. And to give mums, because I had really young kids at that point, to give mums in particular a way to just make some space for themselves during the chaos that was COVID. So yeah, that's how it started. And the why was mainly a well-being angle, I think. It was teaching art, yes, but it was the well-being for women and also bringing people together in community and connecting with other creative women. So yeah, before COVID, I went to a community art class and had weekly sessions, which I really loved. It was sort of abstract art and it was amazing. Really loved them. Run by Abby Chambers, if anyone wants to look her up. But I came to a point where I had a clash with childcare for my youngest. And I asked, can I bring her along? She's very well behaved. Can I bring her along so I can still make my art? And it's not their fault. They're just running an art school. They said no. And I just thought, well, this is just not right. Like we need a way to make our art. We need a way to connect with other creatives, even if we have young kids, even if we're like balancing 5 million, balls up in the air. So that was another why as well, because I had experienced that and I wanted community too. I wanted people to make art with as well.
So you saw a need and then you made the thing that you needed.
I do a lot of that. Did we all do that? Is that normal? I don't know.
Well, that's how things evolve, right? You see what needs changing and you make the change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit of that attitude to be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes. So that's the sort of space you were trying to make online. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, at the start. And then I think Art for the Heart, then it grew into skill building. So then had lots of tutorials on, how to mix your colors, how to look at your composition, those sorts of things. And then eventually in time, the business things were added on, like how to sell your work, how to share on social media, how to set up your email marketing and all of that. So it's sort of it expanded. I would say expanded probably rather than morphed.
Yeah. Because we still have the original stuff. We just added. Yeah.
The membership's evolved and it's now including all of these extra elements over the years. Like I've sort of added bits and pieces, listened to our members, as you'd know, Beck. And there's, things that I notice that people need. Like artists often experience overwhelm, right? Too much information, too many opinions, and just they get quite overwhelmed with too much information. And so that's something that I try to factor into Art for the Heart. Keep it as simple as possible.
If you're an artist and you want to sell your art, that's a business. And most people don't know where to start. So you have all the building blocks in the membership, which help with that because you can Google all this and you get so much information. But yeah, you provide it simple and broken down into steps so it's not as overwhelming. And community, like the artists need community because it is so hard to find it. But the online membership's there all the time. There's always someone around that will respond to a question, or we have, the designated times for co-creating. Co-creating is, I know, it's my favorite part of your membership. people might not understand what it is. So I might just explain a little bit.
It's so funny, isn't it? When you've been part of something for so long, it's all just normal to you. Yeah. What is co-creating, Beck?
Well, it's a Zoom, so all the members that want to go, they're twice a week at specific times. So if you want to, you can pop along, and I'll start off by, we'll say hello to everybody. They're small enough that we can still have a chat, which is great. We just see where everyone's at, and then I will ask what everyone wants to work on today, because everyone will bring their own art and do their own thing. So it's like an accountability session. And then after I've had a chat about what people are working on or any blocks they might be having or whatnot, I just set a timer for half an hour and we all mute and we go do whatever we want to do. We can listen to our own music or podcast or whatever for that half an hour and just paint. You don't even have to paint. We've had people sculpting and, weaving and all sorts of things. It's like, it's a creative thing. Yeah. So then after that half an hour, it's a bit like a show and tell, I guess, if you want. So people will show you what they've done, which is fantastic. I love seeing what everybody's worked on. People might have questions about, what could I have done here? Or does anyone know of a product that would work here? It's so valuable. Like, it's such a fantastic thing to have. Yeah.
You're so amazing at running them too. You've just got such a beautiful way. They're very special sessions. And I think, having you lead most of them is just amazing. The community piece is where that explanation came from, that need for community, people to ask you questions to. It's almost like a vetted artist community, actually, Art for the Heart, in a way. It's a safe community and it's guaranteed to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very inclusive. We only get cool people joining that are really nice to talk to.
It is true. The other thing that I've noticed over my time with Art for the Heart and supporting artists generally is that some artists just want the creativity side of things, like the inspiration, the nourishment, and that piece. And they don't want any business assistance. They're just in that creative space, full stop. They're just making the art and maybe sharing something on socials. And if it sells, right? So there's artists that are like that. And there are artists also that are very driven on the business side of things. They want the support to grow the art business side and the sales and all the marketing things. And that's their focus. And then I find there are also the other artists that want a bit of both. They want the whole deal. But yeah, again, that common thread is we all need community because we're not made to do life alone. We're better together, right?
Definitely.
So that's what I've just been noticing with artists. Beck, I'm sort of wondering, what do you think that members inside Art for the Heart value the most? Because what have we got? We've got the community piece, which is in the shape of the Facebook community, but also the Zoom sessions generally. So that's the community piece. Then we've got, the portal content for learning, like video tutorials and that. Then we have the live sessions, painting sessions, business masterclass sessions. What do you think they value the most?
I think it's community, but I'm biased because that's why I joined. But there is something for everyone. Like, not all the members come to the co-creating sessions. What we get the most turning up to, I've noticed, is the other artist sessions that you run. So the workshops that we have
workshops, yeah.
People in. Artists are always wanting to learn something new or develop what they've already started. So
we had Ellie Flint in recently. So Ellie Flint was, a member of Art for the Heart. So it was a really beautiful full circle moment for me to then have her in as a guest artist running a workshop for the Art for the Heart members. That was really beautiful. Yeah, we do get a big turnout for that one as well. Co-working is a new inclusion as well in Art for the Heart, and that's been getting quite a good turnout too. So I'm wondering on that, what do you notice with people when they actually come to the co-creating sessions regularly? What do you see as benefits or patterns there?
People get more and more confident talking about their art, which I think is fantastic. I could talk about art all day, art supplies, and that's contagious, I think. So they get more comfortable talking about what they're doing and more comfortable making their art. We have artists of all different levels. Like, we have beginners and people have been doing it for a long time. So that's a good mix because we all learn from each other.
Yeah. It's about the people, those sessions, rather than the art in a way.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no comparison that goes, it's not like that.
You could set a timer for yourself and go make art for half an hour. That's fine. Then you've got no one to talk to about it, or you know, maybe something will come up, and yeah, it's just that extra layer of accountability.
Yeah. It's not almost like that body doubling thing for ADHDers.
That's exactly what it is.
So, with all of that in mind, we are refreshing Art for the Heart from July 2026, which is really exciting. So, the heart of Art for the Heart is not changing. It's still about community, it's about encouragement, it's about support as well. But the structure is just becoming clearer, so that artists can sort of choose the right kind of support that fits them best. So, we're going to have 3 tiers. The first tier is our creative tier. So, this one is for artists who want creative nourishment, guided art making, workshops, inspiration, community, and a regular rhythm for art. And then the next one is the growth tier. And this one is for artists who want practical support to build the business side of their art. They want things like a clearer direction, goal setting, all of that jazz, stronger foundations, income building steps, and encouragement in that particular space. So that's the second tier. And then the third tier is essentially both of those combined, and that's called all access. And so that is for artists who want both. They want the creative support and they also would like the business support so they can keep developing their art while also growing their income. I'm not going to take everyone through all the details of the different tiers and the pricing as well, because you can go over to the enrollment page and check all the details over there. But yeah, well, I'm really excited about rolling this out and making Art for the Heart even more accessible, essentially, to all the beautiful creatives out there.
Excellent. It makes it very accessible, gives people more options.
And for me, that comes down to my values and why all of this started in the very first place, why I said yes to helping other artists and sharing my passion for art itself and sharing what I know in the space of art business as well. It's just all about lifting up other women and supporting them in their lives. Really, it's around that, you know, being able to see what their dreams are and being able to see what their hopes are and their aspirations, and then actually listening to them and honoring them and building that lifestyle that they want to have. That means a lot to me. And that's the big why behind all of this. And so that's why I want Art for the Heart to be even more accessible than it has been over the last few years, 5 years, because of that. So I want to be able to help as many beautiful creatives out there that need help on their journey, whether it's in that creative space or whether it's in the business space or whether it's in both of those spaces. That's why we're putting all of this energy into giving Up the Heart this refresh at this point in time. Yeah. So how are you feeling about the changes, Beck?
I think it's great. I think it's great. I feel like it makes more room for people who don't want the whole package, who might want one or the other. I think it's great.
Beck, question. From your perspective, what kind of artist do you think thrives inside Art for the Heart?
Well, I think any artist could, but definitely someone seeking community would thrive, and people that want some help and guidance.
It's a really inclusive community, I think, Art for the Heart. It's just really, really beautiful. It's warm and everyone's welcome inside Art for the Heart. But we do have members, for example, Beck, that you wouldn't really see because I've got the back end, right? Like I can see who's signed up to Art for the Heart. We do have members who are signed up and are not in the Facebook group at all. And they only use the video tutorials in the portal. That's the only thing they use. So, people join for different reasons, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get one type of artist in the group.
Hey, if there's someone listening today and they genuinely just think it looks good, but they're worried about joining, like what happens next, maybe they're wondering, what would you say to them?
Probably just do it. Just join and have a look around. You don't have to comment on everything or talk to everyone. You don't have to come to any of the sessions if you don't want to. But you don't know what you're missing out unless you try it and see. And I think, Roz, you will run some sort of offer or tester session or taster trial for people to come have a look if they want to.
Yeah, we do often have like a free week inside Art for the Heart or 7 days for $7 or something like that going, depending on when you're listening to this episode.
Just try it.
We're all lovely. We do have a bit of a hidden policy, don't we? Everyone must be lovely. Should I
Yeah.
say that? Maybe I should add that to the
Of course.
registration
I
or
think that's a
enrollment
good
page.
rule. You must be lovely.
You must be lovely. You must have been described by at least 3 people in the last year as lovely. That'll be funny. Now I'm thinking, should I add that? Maybe not. Okay, and then my last little question for you before we wrap up is, what do you hope members will feel when they come into the group or when they come into a co-creating session with you, Beck?
Well, I mean, I definitely hope they would feel included and comfortable.
You do a great job of that.
Good.
Hey, on that topic, we better finish recording quite soon because
Yep.
I'm running a co-working session in 1 minute. I'm
Yep.
going to quickly do our little wrap up. And then I'm going to go to an Art for the Heart co-working session. So if Art for the Heart sounds like the kind of supportive creative home that you have been looking for, you will find all the current details through the link in the show notes. You can explore the membership options there, see what is included, and choose the pathway that feels like the best fit for where you are in your creative journey right now. We would love to welcome you inside. And Beck, again, thank you so much for being with us today. Listeners, go and give Beck a follow over at Short and Sweet Art.
Yep.
Thank you, my love. See you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye. That's it for this episode. I am so glad we could share this time together. I'm Ros Gervais, and I'll catch you in the next one.